apps like Swiggy, Zomato, something of that sort. So even such apps have nearly 50K plus downloads on Play Store. So you can create such clone apps also. We are not asking for any backend, just the user interface, just whatever you see on those apps. Just need the user interface. Okay. So this is about uh, the UI hackathon. And this hackathon begins from tomorrow, that is 12th October till Saturday. 15th October is the deadline, and you need to present the app in just a docs file where you will just tell your problem statement like which app or which application you are going to build, and then solution like the solution should consist of the screenshots of your app, and then what is its functionality, like what does it do, like what is it used for. And one more thing, um, how many of you know how to use Git? Okay, so how many of you have no idea anything about GitHub? Just say yes. It's not an offense. Just a simple question. Okay, good. Ram Mohan Goswala. Anyone else? Even though you have or not, if you have, just say I have some knowledge. Or if you don't have, also you say like I'm a beginner or I have no knowledge. Then someone respond in chat box. Okay, it's not an offense. Okay, so okay, good, Suprija. Okay, so while you submit the Google Doc, we just want a simple Google Doc where you'll need to specify the problem statement and your solution or the application you've built, uh, the screenshot of your application, like how many screens have you built. And the main judging criteria or the key criteria is that the best UI gets, they get awarded. So, uh, how creative and how intuitive and simple is your UI matters in this hackathon. Okay, only the user interface, how uh, that is all about matters, and it can be simple also. And okay, so when you submit it, problem statement, the proposed solution with your screenshots, and then functionality like how is your app useful and what does it do. And then final one is the application link. Uh, Application link is not mandatory because you need to submit the link of your GitHub repository where you have your project. So if you have a GitHub link and GitHub account, and then if you have it in your repository, then you can just post the link. It's not mandatory; it's optional. But I think most of the third years have some knowledge about Git and GitHub. So if they want, they can provide the GitHub link in the doc. So this is how you will submit your app for the hackathon. And 15th October, that is Saturday, is the last date. That's the deadline. And obviously it's an offline session. And people who want to submit applications need to be present on that day. You can't just send the doc link and be absent on that day. sort of experience the previous sessions also, because on Saturdays, of course, it's weekend. I understand, everyone wants to take leave, but please, at least this week, I simply urge you to attend the last session at least of Compost Fund. Okay, that's it. And we'll also share a detailed doc telling all the rules and regulations of this hackathon, or how to submit the app or submission guidelines too. And this is all about it. Thank you. Sharmila, I think you can continue.
Hello everyone, good evening. Are you guys there? Like, are you listening? I will share you my screen within few minutes. So that I just want to know what actually you learned from these sessions. This is going to be your last Android session, so I want you guys to reply something that you learned before continuing the class. You guys need to say something that you learned from here. Like, we had 5 sessions, right? So I want you guys to say something which you learned from these 5 sections. Something which actually intrigued you to learn further or go and attend the rest sessions and all. So I want you to speak something about it.
Uh, Ram, uh, like, is your name Ram Mohan Uli? Okay. I mean, are you from GDP Women's? You can just respond yes. I'm from GDP
It's good,
Women.
Ram, that it's your first Android session, but I want the people who already visited the Android, like
Okay.
had Android sessions and all, speak something, guys.
Okay, not an issue, Ram Mohan. Welcome to our VDS. Good to see that you're taking time out to attend, and yeah, thank you so much. An issue, even though it's your first session. Uh, Here, we just had some sessions about Jetpack Compose. If you have any doubts, you can just reach out to us. We'll clarify if you have any doubts about it. Shamila, I think you can continue.
Okay, it's okay that we had a new attendee for our session. We will try to help you out. So let me know, Ram, how much you know about Android. So can you say like what do you know about Android? So we'll be helpful to you. Ram, I guess you can unmute yourself and speak. Like if you have something to say, like how much you know about Android and all. Okay, that's good that you had done the code labs and all. So is there any doubt till now how many code labs you have done? Do you have any doubts and all? Like have any question that you want to know? Okay, we will start the session. Just give me 10 minutes. I'm just building my Gradle. So it's taking time. So give me some minutes.
Okay, in the meantime, we'll just have some refresher. Can everyone tell me which is your favorite app? Like you can just type in the chat box your favorite apps, like or at least the apps you use daily or your favorite apps. Just type it in the chat. YouTube, yeah, very nice. Okay, that's my favorite too. Instagram, okay, WhatsApp, and still, okay. YouTube Shorts, it's part of YouTube also. Okay, fine. Of course. Okay. Um, Omeka is linked in your favorite app. Very, very good to see that answers to. Very nice. Okay, Ram. Where to find hackathon event? Like you just need to start building your app. We'll share a Google form. Then you can just send your doc link there. Okay. I think that answers your question.
And also, just to add on, hackathon details will be posted soon, right?
Yeah,
Hack-
proceed.
yeah, hackathon details will be sent to you soon. So we are going to update it in the uh, WhatsApp group also. So over there, you can find all the detailed thing, like as to how you have to submit and what you have to actually do. That will be updated by tonight or tomorrow. So Q&A session is going on. Kada, Anjali?
Yes, Prasita, yeah.
Okay, nice. I think very nice interaction going on over here. All of you, thanks for joining in. And we all await to for your submissions and for your active participation in the hackathon. I think you will be able to get the end-to-end experience that you have done project, right? Android based project. So that actually counts a lot. So I hope everybody participates and you tell even to your friends. uh, yeah, I almost all for all the second year students, your mids are starting from October 20th. So we have already given you like a buffer gap of 4 days to prepare for your mids, and we are leaving you before your mids only. So if you could use this period of time, these 4 days of time before 16th of October, which is the deadline, for submission of your completion of your project and completion of your hackathon. uh, that would be really really great. And do you have any questions still? I think the team is eager enough to answer answer you.
Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding the hackathon or the previous events also, you can just post in the chat. We're here to answer. Any queries regarding anything? And one more spoiler is that uh, the best app or the best UI will be submitted to the Compose Camp, GDSC India Compose Camp, and you'll also receive some goodies like certificate and all. So please try to make it as interactive and intuitive as possible. Uh, yeah, where will you provide details regarding hackathon? We have actually a WhatsApp group uh, where we usually share the details of the compost camp and everything. So we'll be sharing there.
Yeah, Ram Mohan Lochala, I think I can take up that question. So basically, GDSC is only meant for a particular college, right? Our club is meant for uh, GDSC chapter is sorry GVP CW chapter of GDSC is only for our college. So only people from our college can participate in this. I hope you are from GVP CW. Any other doubts or anything you want to share about this particular sessions series of sessions that we had? Guys, I think this is the time that you can share uh, what you have learned or how can we improve, or your comments, your thoughts about the program that went on. I think Anjali, is this should be our last session, last I think interaction session, right?
Yes, yes. Last session of compost camp.
Last session of compost camp.
Yes.
And yeah, and then if possible maybe we can accommodate some Android sessions too, based on the
Yes,
timings
yes.
of the team?
The study jam will begin soon, mostly
Okay.
after the studies, like next week. So,
Okay, so like another update is from November, we are going to start the cloud month. So the Google Cloud updates are going to come to you. So before the cloud month begins only, we have to complete whatever sessions that are there for Android. So if you are interested in Android study jams, you can also be a part. But for the Compose, the official uh, uh, course link that our GDSC India has given us. We are going to complete it by today. So I think if anyone wants to share their experience, or they can just feel free to share over here.
So shall we start the session? Like, should I start? Are you guys ready? Okay. Before I show you a small question for you, you can say question or a riddle. Anything you can say. So just try to decode it. I guess it's very easy if you think. So I want you to just communicate with me, like interact with me through this question. You can answer, like show your interest towards that question. Listen carefully. I'm saying it. You find me in December, but month. Who am I? Guys, think. So before I start, I just want to energize you people. Think of an answer. Try. At least try to answer me answer the question. Even if it's wrong or correct, it doesn't matter. You just need to try.
Sharmila, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. You find me. I guess someone answered me. Like few people have started answering me. You find me in December, but not in any other month. Who am I? Actually,
I think
Sanjana has
someone.
answered me. Shravani has answered me. A kind of thing. But if I see only the month name, it's like December has D, but any other month doesn't have it, right? So answer should be D
Yes, yes.
actually. That's great. Actually, Shravani has even explained it very well. So should we start with the session or before I start? Come on, just answer me. Like you want some start, like you want to energize yourselves. Sanjana, I want all the people to answer me. Like, are you interested to listen to
Yes.
the riddle before you like have a bang on ideal or like just try to energize yourself? I guess only Sanjana is answering me. No one else? I want some yeses actually. There's only one. Okay. Okay. This is actually very simple one. Let's go. When can you add 2 to 11 and get 1 as correct answer? I'm typing it out for you guys. When can you add 2 to 11 and get 1 as the correct answer? Come on. Try to answer this question. I want a little precise answer, Sanjana. No. I said add 2 to 11 means like a number, right? You can't think of month. Think of an answer, guys. Yeah, it's correct. Likitanjali, it's correct that November is the 11th month, but still,
I can see Sanjana answered when we add 2 hours to 11.
11. Yeah, we get
It,
1
it,
o'clock. So it is
so
correct.
it's right. Oh, very good.
Ah, great, great. Ram, you have to type your
Sanjana,
answer. You can't say that Sanjana's answer is the correct one. You have to type yourself. Even though her answer is correct, you have to type. Come on, people.
okay, good to you know. Good. They answered correctly.
Yeah, copy paste when we add 2 hours to 11. That's cool. Okay. One simple one. This is the riddle for you guys. So I'm typing it out without saying you guys. I will type this one for you so that you can think about it. This is the last one. So think of it. And please, if you are don't Google it out, okay? Check the chat box. Just think of an answer for it. No?
Someone says cough. Is it? I can see Likitanjali answering pop. Sound ICU. Satyashree ICU. Is ICU the answer?
Okay, now as you guys have done this great thing that you solve the questions and all, now let's start doing an application. Are you guys ready? Now should we start the application? You yourself will do that application yourself. I will just explain you how to do, and you guys will carry on yourselves like you are having your systems ready, right? Are you guys ready with your systems? Okay, cool. So I shall start then.
Yes, yes, you can.
I guess my screen is getting shared properly.
Shamila, yes.
Okay, let's start with that. See, today we are going to do a desert clicker app where you will get see, I will show you how it works and how will you get that design and all.
So we'll make it desert clicker app where you will have kind of these things. Wait, let me show. See, here we will do all these things like how should we like make our application, where when I click, let's say if I'm having a cupcake, here I will place it here on the table, and when I click that, I should get the costs and everything like that. So we are going to try a desert clicker app for today. So are you guys ready to do that? Like some chats, guys? Let me check the chats. Yeah, desert clicker. Correct. So for that, you know the run. How should you do? Now you have to open your Android Studio. Just go open it up. Open a new empty Jetpack Compose file. So I want that someone should come forward voluntarily and share their screen itself. I will stop my sharing. I will show you in between, but I want someone to come up and share where I will guide them to do it itself. I will show you the code, but I want you to do it yourself. So we can do simultaneously. Someone is going to come forward? Like anyone? You can start yours, like you can say that, yes, I will come forward. We will go through it. I'll start explaining how it works and what you should write and how you should write for that. Sharing is option is not available. Just let me check. Anjali, can you just check whether she can be the host and all?
Yeah, you can make them presenters.
Just stop sharing screen so that
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I didn't just, I forgot that. Okay. Now, she can, I guess she can share her screen and all.
Swami, now you can share your screen.
Anyone can share the screen. Like, who wants to share the screen? Just say yes. We can just make you the presenter. Anjali, I guess baby Saumi can do that. She's ready to share her screen. Can you just do her the presenter? Like anyone.
Presenter mode is enabled for
And then I guess they can share the screen. So okay, until then you open your screen and all. I will just explain you what all the things that we will come across this session now. So before that, let me just explain what actually we are going to do. See, in every Android, when you make an application, you have to know how it works, right? Like what's the cycle of it, how it goes, how it starts, like how ends, and all those components of Android and all. So let me explain what the life cycle, or you can say the lifetime of an activity. When you make an activity, there are few steps that you come across. Oh, okay. Ram, then I guess you can show your screen. It will be helpful for other members too, right? They will also get to know how easy it was. Like, you can explain. If you are comfortable, you can explain. I guess you are not comfortable, but still, you can share your screen. Instead of talking, you can share your screen. I will explain that. Is it okay for you in that way? Okay, sure. You don't see any option to share the screen? Okay, just give me a second. Just Anjali, can you just look after it? Like Prasida or anyone, can you just check that out?
Yes. Everyone send me log. Should I
Um,
set it as post?
okay, I guess it's having some issue or something like that. Okay, it's fine. I will continue. I will just see. Basically, when we make an activity, there's a life cycle when we do an activity. So it will extend from the creation to its destruction. Like when it starts, like when you start an application, like if you say on start or something like that, it also has to end, right? So life cycle starts from starting from that application till the end. And as a user will navigate in and out of an activity, each transition between the different states will be considered to be an activity life cycle. So the transitions, the whole process from starting from you when you start an application or when you start an activity to the end of the activity is total considered to be an application. And if you are guys interested to be like in future, if you guys want to be an Android developer, you have to understand that activity life cycle. So like if your activity doesn't respond to the life cycle state changes, it may generate some strange bugs and all. So you have to know how you should start or how you should end it, so that you will have some ideology when you face any issue like any errors or any bugs during your application. So for that, you need to know how should you create an application. I guess in first we had done that, like basically how you should start and all. So in yeah, okay, Ram, you can share the screen. See, Ram, I will show you how you can do that. You can do that. Okay, you have the file in your like in your laptop presently. Now you are having that folder, right? Oh, if you're not having the folder, then I guess you can't do that. Okay, you can download. You can download it. Till then, I will just give an overview of the application. You can download till then. See, today here we will learn how to make a small starter app, which is called as desert clicker. Each time the user taps on a desert, I showed you the screen right where you can there was a table and there was something placed and there was a gap like this one. I will show you. Till he downloads, I will just explain things. You are seeing this? Here on this platter, let's say if a cupcake is placed or a donut, when you click it, it has to, like the app has to show the purchases of the desserts done by the user actually. It will update the number and all. Like here, this is the bakery file where there is a plate where you will play where the desserts will be placed, and when you click, it will give the like update your purchases and all. At the end you will get the total revenue for the purchased dessert. So it's like just kind of a revenue generator, you can say. So for that, before we go, we need to know what actually is this life cycle. I spoke about the life cycle, right? So let me show you something. Do you know how like the life cycle of a butterfly, starting from a caterpillar, cocoon, and all this, from cocoons, and then it becomes a caterpillar, and after that this like butterfly, the life cycle of a butterfly. Did you ever heard about the life cycle of a butterfly, guys? I need some yeses or something, right? Yeah. Similarly, our Android also has an like a life cycle from starting stage till the end. So these are the things which we will come across and we will learn about that. Here we come across few statements like resumed, started, created, initialized, destroyed. So these are the few things which we will come across in a life cycle. So the first thing which comes across our mind is initialized. I'm typing here. Initialized, which is the starting of an application or starting of an activity, you can say. The next will come your created. This is the created life cycle. This is the next part. After initialization, you are going to create it. Ram, actually, you want the link to download that starter file? You want to do that? Uh, okay, I shall share you the link. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just going to share him a link. So, till then, okay, say me one thing before I continue. I'm just searching for the link and all. So till then, just say me how many guys how many people of you know some different languages rather than Telugu, English, or any other? Like how many of you know some different languages? Understand it properly and all. Okay, Hindi, good, good. Pranati, good. Okay, I have a riddle for you. I'm searching for the link to send him. So till then, I want you to solve this riddle too. Ready? I need some readies and all. At least say yes so that I can move forward. Anjali, don't you think these people are very slow? Don't you think they have to catch up with us?
Yes, yes, they need to.
You guys need to say yes and
They'll
all.
obviously, catch up with us soon.
Yeah, cool. Sanjana is ready to do that. So, mm, okay. There's a question actually from my side to you guys. What question can you never answer yes to? I'm typing that for you. Think carefully. And please don't Google it out. Use your brains and all. It will be just like energizing you and all. You have to think it. There you go. That's the result from my side. Think of the answer. People, you have to think of the answer and say me, what's the answer? You have to say, sister, this is the answer and all. No Googling, by the way. I'm sending this link to Ram. You wanted to check the link, right? See, this is the actual link. If you want, you can go through it. So any answers? I guess no one answered my riddle. Is it difficult than other one before? Was it is it difficult for you guys? Guys, you need to say at least try to answer. Ah, yeah, Shupraja, you can go for it. Come on, it will be enjoying that if you. Ah, I will surely guide you. You have to open it up. Come on. So you can start with the new project and all. Come on, you can do that. We had a similar last class. Anjali did help you guys to do an application, right? Same way you have to open it up.
Um, Actually, Sharmila, this is my first time using Compose, so
Okay, okay then we will do one thing. You stop sharing the screen. I will start from the first. It will be
yeah,
better for you guys. Okay.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
But thank you so much. You did a great initiative and all. You came forward to do that. That's indeed good actually. So okay, before I start, and I guess you guys are still having the answer. Okay, okay, Ram, it's okay. You can do that. If you are ready, you can say me. I will just give you a chance to share the screen and all. I guess you are present till now. We can say that. Till then, I will just okay. Okay, just started it. Cool. It's getting downloaded, guys. So its Gradle is getting built. So till then, I will explain you few things about this activity. Like here, I said about the two words like initialized, created, right? We have few more things to come. They are started. When you start an activity, use on start type of thing. And when you want to stop it or when a stopped activity has to be started, we use resumed. And when you want it to be stopped, like it has to be done, like I'm done with my activity, I want to stop my activity, you have to go for destroyed. So we have few things to remember like initialized, created, started, resumed, and destroyed. These are the things you have to remember when you are doing an activity. So see, there are few things which you have to think like when you want to change some behavior or run some code. When an activity life cycle state changes, you have to change the activity itself. Like the state is changed from this point to this point. So you have to consider everything on point. Like when I'm initializing it, so what should I do? Or when I want to stop it, what should I do? So for these statements, we have few commands. You can't say commands type of thing. Simple. In simple, you can say like see. For create, we have something called on create. For starting something or restarting something, you have on start, or you can say on restart. On restart. On start should be like this, guys. So on start, on restart. And when you come to the phase from start to resume, you have something called on resume. I explained you, right? A few minutes back, I spoke about the word resume. On resume. And when your activity has a focus during that particular moment and you want to pause your system, like you want to pause it, like I want my system, the activity to be stopped at this moment. So I can use this command. on pause. And when your activity is visible and you want to stop it, like here on pause is something which when only a particular thing is focused and it's not properly visible to you guys. But when the activity is visible and you want to stop your activity, you have to go for on stop. I guess Ram has downloaded the file. So let me explain a few more things that are left here in the activity, like life cycle of it. And when you want to destroy your activity, you will completely stop it. Like I want to destroy it, then you will go for on destroy. These are the things actually when you come. Here on restart method indicates that this method is not called every time. Like it's not called every time when you change a transition between created and started, but only when you want it to start. Like when you give an opportunity that you want this system, like this activity to be started during this transition, you use this on restart. And same goes with this on stop. It works only when you call it, or else it will not work, or else it will subsequently restart itself. So it is needed that you have to call it out. So another thing that is very important to know, when Android invokes some callbacks, right? Whenever you invoke something, there is a callback, and every time when you face that callback, you have to think like, what can I do to solve this issue or something like that. So at that moment, the most important thing to remember is this activity life cycle. So how it goes and everything. Now for every step, like on create and all, everything has to be done in a proper way. Like when you run this file also, there is something called like starting a file, like initializing it and everything. So let's go to this main activity.kt. Ram, can you just go to the main activity.kt? Yeah, that's good. Open it out. Now it's like a back in one. So go for the only code. Go to the code. Here you are having the split screen, right? Just click the code one. Yeah. So here just try to check the first part, like override fun. There is written something called on create. You're seeing that? That on create means you are trying to create an activity now. So that's the reason we have written something called on create. It's a function, like I specified here, right? On create. So it has to be written so that your activity will be created. It will be initialized. So these are the things that you come here. And next, if you go a little down, there will be something called on start also. Like override fun on start. You got that? Yeah, that means you want to start every time when you, okay, let's go to the on create only. Whenever you start a function, you have to, like, you are initializing it, you have to write override fun on create, and after that you have to, in brackets, you have to give the parameter called as saved instant state colon, you will start with bundle. And after that, when this like curly bracket starts, inside that you write the code actually. You got my point? Did you guys understand, or was I too fast? If I were fast, like just explain, just reply me yes or something like that, so that I will re-explain that thing to you. Some replies, guys, like, did you get my point, or should I explain it in a proper way? Like, should I explain it a little more further? Something has to be spoken by you guys, or at least reply me. Okay, let me just explain it once again for you. if you say or not, I will explain it to you guys now once again. In the activity life cycle diagram, when not only in diagram or anyway, when I explained about the activity life cycle, I said about the on create, right? You have to use this callback, and every time, like it's one method that every activity must implement. If you don't implement on create, it will not work. This method has to be like used by every time one like every time you want to initialize something. Like you want to initialize this activity called as desert clicker, so you're using that on create like on create instance here. And after that, there's something called set content also. See, yeah, that means when you call this set content inside this on create, it will specify the activities user interface layout actually. You are seeing in RAM screens there is something called set content, and inside that there is something called desert clicker theme. After that, we wrote about the desert clicker app. It means this set content, which is called by this on create, specifies this activities user interface. So we are having this layout desert clicker theme. So we are going to do that. So we are calling that here on this on create method. Did you get me? Did you get me, guys? Guys, you need to explain me that if you are able to get it or not, or else should I explain it once again? Something you have to reply me. Are you guys able to understand like what I'm explaining? Ram, are you getting me? Like, are you okay? Yes, cool. Okay. See, there is one thing called when you like this on create can be initialized only once. Like it has to be called once only because you are initializing the activity for that phase only. You are using this on create, right? So it has to be called only once. So when the OS creates a new activity, like the operating system creates a new activity object in the memory, this on create method will execute that to be created. Like it will explain to the OS that it has to be created, this new activity is created. So we only initialize it only once. You get my point? And after that we have this called on create. And to superimpose it also, if you want to like have a super class, we can also have it like super dot on create. If you see this in the on start function, if you can have a look, override fun on start, there is something called super dot on start. You're getting that? That means it's a super class of on start. Similarly, if you want to create this on create also, you can see the super dot on create. This in the second line of the on create function. Super dot on create means it's a super class of that on create system, like on create class method. So for the implementation to complete and the creation of the activity, we have to use that. Like it's a super class, so it has to be used. So here, after doing this, we come to the next. Like see, there is set content, which I explained that you have to use it for the user interface. Now there is something extra in there also. One sentence which I have not explained, like log.d. Actually, that log class will write the messages to the logcat. The logcat is the console for logging messages, and it's like a what is if in simple terms, if I would say, if you're having a console for the messages and all, this one will allow you to write that to that particular console. So it will let the console know that this message has to be done. So if you see log.d, we have given a tag. After that, we have wrote MSG, which means message on create called, which means that you are saying this logging message console that the on create has been called. So it's like giving the ideology, like saying them, messaging them that these things has to be done. Like no, not like has to be done, has been done. So this log.d method or log class methods are used to explicitly send the log messages to the logcat. So here also there are few things which can be done, like log.d can be used. For if you are having like verbose type of messages, you can use log.v. For verb like verbose type of messages, you can use log.v. But similarly, like how you are writing like log, like yeah, correct, verbose. For that, you need to go for log.v. And if you want to log.d means it's for debug. And there is something called log.i also, which means for information, info. Yeah, correct. Log.w is for warn, like warnings and all. And log.e is for error messages. You got that? And the same usually we don't use that assert one, but if you have it, we can go for log.a, the assert. You got my point? Like these all things are like this all particular things like this verbose, debug, info, warm and error. These are all the messages to be given to this logcat. Like we are explicitly sending them. So we are using this. So now let's go to the onStart function then now. Okay. So onStart, this lifecycle method is called this is just called after you create it. Like after initialization, you have to start it, right? So you have to go for this function. After this onStart runs, your activity is visible on the screen. Like whenever you use this function in the backend, your activity will be visible on your screen. But when you do for onCreate, it will be not visible. Like it's just initialized. It has been told that activity has been created. Now rest things has to be done. Like it's just like what do you say? If I'm going for some competition and all, I'm just informing someone that there is a competition. So the going and rest all the parts are rest things. But the first thing to do is like stating the fact, right? The stating the fact thing will be done by onCreate, and the onStart will start the function. And unlike onCreate, which is called only once, onStart can be called as many times as possible. Like you can call many times of this particular method can be called many times in the activity. But onCreate can be called only once. Remember this one thing. Not now. Whenever you make this like Android application using Kotlin, you have to remember this one thing. Not only in Kotlin, if you go for Java too, you have to remember this one thing, that onCreate can be called only once, but onStart can be called many times. This onStart has been paired with corresponding onStop also. Like these things can be paired. Now here also there is one thing called in log.d, that's the debug console. Like it goes to the logcat console where it said that onStart started. So here in Android Studio, when you go for this override methods and all, you will get to know about these things actually. So here this onStart has to be written the similar way as you write the onCreate, like override fun onStart. Yes, Ram has just like he has put his cursor in the place like log.d, which is like the logcat console. So now this inside this onStart, we have to write the similar things like super.onStart, which means the super class of onStart. Yes, super.onStart. And after that, this logd, which means it has been a message has been sent to the like logcat console. Correct. Now we have few more things also to come, like on resume, on restart, on pause. Ram, you can just scroll down a little. Yeah, see, on resume, on pause, on stop. These are all the things, like on destroy also you can see. These all are written in a simple way. You just need to write override, fun, give a space, write on create, which means creating that, like on create to initialize the activity, inside which we have to write to give the layout of user interface. And after that, we have to explain these functions. You get the point? We will come there later, but this is the basic. Till on destroy is something which you have to remember whenever you write any application or any activity you do. These are the few things to be remembered in your mind. This is the activity life cycle which has to be, like, you have to know these things perfectly. If you don't know, you can't understand where is your error and all. It will be easier for you to understand these things, so that you can understand, like, okay, at this moment I am having this bug, so I can do this particular thing there. So you have to understand this life cycle properly. So now this opening and closing also I have explained, right, like how it goes and all. So inside this logcat, as now Ram has opened the logcat, right, where you were able to see all the messages. So every time you give an explicit thing, it will come there. Yes, correct. You are having this verbose, debug, info, and all. Whenever you go there, at particular thing, you will get that. So now these things work, right? Now I will just explain a small note. It's for you, that just a small thing. Just remember this thing. On restart is only called by the system if the activity has already been created and eventually enters the created state when on stop. See, this on restart, there is something called on restart, right? And the 90th line, you can see. Yes, on restart. It is called only when this, like, activity has been created and the state has also been done stopped. Like, I started an activity and I stopped it. So if I want to start it again, I have to use this function on restart, which means you have to restart it once again. So I'm saying that, like, this restart means that the state has not been destroyed, just has been stopped. If your state will be destroyed, you can't restart it. You are getting me right? Oh, cool, Ram. That's good. So this on start can only be done when your activity has been stopped. It will not work if you destroy your activity. So it has to be remembered by you guys. And these on resume, on pause, and on stop are something like which are partially hidden by your activity, which is not like open to you, but these are things which go like partially hidden. So you can easily understand those things. So now we understood how we do that. Now let's know how actually we can explore these changes and all. See, there is another case in managing the activity lifecycle, which has to be like understood by everyone. Like how this configuration changes will affect your life cycle or the life cycle of your activities which are going on. So we have to know, right, if you are configuring something, if you are doing some changes there, you have to know like what actually it works, how it works and all. See, this configuration change can occur when a state of a device changes actually. Like if a state of a device is changed, like you are so it's like radically easiest way to see the system to revolve, or you can say the easiest way to change or like rebuild an activity, the changes and all. So we have to know if we are having some changes, how it will react. So it will be easier for us to go. Correct? So now so we have this thing, something called like on destroy, on stop also. There is something extra which is like very hidden for you guys. That is called finish. You also have this function, finish, Finish. See this finish. This finish is something like it's very hidden. This can also happen when the, yeah, You got it, kind of thing. Like this can happen when the app code's call finished. Like it will work when the app code will be called, or the system needs to destroy or recreate the activity because of the configurations change. Like on destroy you're having something, right? If you have destroyed something and you are recreating it or doing some configuration change, this finish will be called by the code actually. So it's like an internal thing which is not openly seen, but it's an internal thing. See, when you just destroy an activity, there are some cases of loss of your data also. Like we have to do something like to change this, to make that configuration changes and losses to be stopped. So when you compile and run your app, you have to see that. See, if you are doing compiling and running your application, let's say if you are doing it in your Android emulator, you're having an Android emulator in your device, right? Like your Android Studio. Yeah. So you have to, first thing, like before doing that, you have to compile your code, and then you have to see that the screen rotation of your Android emulator has been stopped. These are the few errors which can occur when you do that. No need to do that. I'm just explaining few things. You can, after that you can do RAM. Not now. See, the things that you have to remember when you do this are like you have to compile, run your app, and then the next thing you have to check if you are using an Android emulator, check whether the screen rotation is disabled or not. It is a thing to remember. And after that, if you want to see it in a proper way, like check the configuration changes and all, you can do one thing. You can rotate the emulator to landscape mode. Then you can rotate your emulator to left and right with the rotation buttons. You are having the rotation buttons in an emulator, right? Yes, cool. After that, you can do one thing. You can examine your logcat. You're having a logcat here, so you can open that. You can check whether there are calls like on pause, on stop, or on destroy in that order. You have to check that, like how it works. It will give you the order of it, like explicitly that the message will be sent, right? This has been enabled. This has been enabled. So usually when you do that, the order should be like this. Like on pause should be called for, should come first, and then you will have like on stop, and then you have something called on destroy. The three things has to be called like perfectly. See here, the data is written in a same way, like on pause is first, after that on stop, after that on destroy. It's like a particular, in a particular series, in that particular series only it has to be done. You got that? Okay. So before this, I just want to ask you one question. What do you mean by mutable or immutable state? Or anything like, what do you mean by the word mutable and immutable? Okay. We can change mutable. Okay, that's cool. You got that. So if you're having a revenue type of thing, so how you do that? Like let's say not like a revenue thing. If you are having a variable, how do you say that it's mutable or something like that? Like there should be something called, like the way you should write, like Yes, kind of like that. You can do that. But actually, you should not use the capital letters. Rather, you have to use the small letter. IMM or MUTABLE. Small. Yes. Now, when you say it's a state, let's say if you're having, let's say take a where A, like write where A equals to, yeah, equals to mutable, mutable state of. You write mutable state of. Yes, you got that. In this way, you write a normal variable. You want to say that it has to be mutable or not. You write it in this way. Now you can erase it. I just like wanted to say you how you write that. So these are the things that comes under your activity life cycle and all. Now, as you see, as you understood this life cycle, these are the things which you come across, like the core set. Basically, the core set starts with like on create, on restart, on start, on resume, on pause, on stop, and on destroy. That's the basic activity life cycle core components, you can say, which are which has to be done. And when you write in the skeleton of this code also, if you see, there's something like override fun on create everything. So this, now you even learned about this logging files, right? Log.d, this logcat thing, where the message has been sent to you, message will be sent explicitly to the logcat. In this way you have to do the things. So these are the actual things which you will know during the stages of this application. And after that we have this architecture type of thing also. Now Ram, you can stop sharing your screen. I will share my screen and you can stop it. Thank you, Ram. You were very like what do you say, you volunteered yourself and you showed the screen. It was great. So let me share my screen. We'll be done within few minutes, guys. Then you can have your dinner and all. See, see, I said about this main activity, right? It's the main file where we wrote about this on create function, and then we started with on start, on resume, on restart, pause, stop, and destroy. These were the things which are actually required to know during your normal activity of a, or you can say the life cycle of an activity. So now let's see how these things are also done. Let's see. Actually, we are having very less time, so I'm just winding it up early. But I will show the next time we will be able to show you in a better way. Actually, see here in this XML file, they we made, I like, you can get the code also. They made this bakery back, like the design where there was a plate and all. They did it using this thing like back bakery back.xml. And the next one is your cupcake, where you get the design of the cupcake and all, how to make it on all. And then there's something called donut. Then there's an eclair, froyo, gingerbread, bread, honeycomb. These are the few desserts which will come across when you will, which will be like you will be able to see. And then you have few more things like ice cream sandwich, jelly bean. We're having Kit Kat and all these things. These are the desserts that will be that you will be able to see here placed. The desserts will be placed on this platter, like these all desserts. And when you click, actually here in this build, we have to write these all the things actually. Um, Here the desert model, we have to write the model, right, how it works and all. We have to give the value of image ID, and then we have to give the price, that it has to be given this much price and all. And those all things are are written in your data source. Actually, see here in the data source, we have written the price of the cupcake, the donut, eclair, and every price has been written. And this like production is this much, and let's say donuts has production like 5 productions are there. So for each thing, it will work in that way. We can just modify it also if you want. So in this way, you can do. And the same thing has been written here. This is the cycle. After that, we had to do this. So, so actually, in that way, you have to do that thing. Today's agenda was to explain you about the activity life cycle, how it works and all. So that's the thing which we did. So I guess you guys got to know about the activity life cycle. Did you get it? Like the basic things which are important. Ah, okay, sure. You can share your screen, Ram. Correct. That's actually good. You have a perfect thing there. See, as the image shows you, like when the activity is launched, the first thing comes your on create, and then on start, on resume, and during this time the activity is running, and when you pause it, it stops, and when you want to resume it, it will go once again there. Yes, correct. After that, if you do the on stop, if you don't give the on restart, it will not start. So to start from the on stop, you have to give this on restart there. And then if you want to destroy your activity, you have to go with on destroy. Yes, correct. These are the few things. This is the actual activity life cycle whenever you do any activity. I feel you guys have understood properly this activity, how this the life cycle of an activity works. Did you get it actually? Thank you, Ram. You were actually, it was very helpful of you, and you volunteered yourself. You explained, you showed your screen and all. That's great, actually. So you guys got the point, like how an like activity life cycle works and all. You understood that? Ram, were you able to get the life? Okay, that's good. I was going to ask you about that. So shall we wind it up? So before that, I want to like answer the question, like which I gave a riddle to you guys, right? So do you want to know the answer, or are you going to answer me? It's not like a 3 letter thing. It's like a question. Like what type of, if someone asks you a question, you can never say yes to that question. Which question? Let's say if I'm going to ask a question, and you can never say yes to that question. What type of question can it be? No, that's not. Okay, let me answer that for you. You can't say yes to it. That means you can say, like, it's kind of like, if I ask that question, you will never say yes. So after this, we will wind it up. I just want you guys to like have your like end of this session should be like something memorable, right? So you should at least remember this riddles of mine. Do you want me to answer it? Okay. So the answer would be, are you asleep yet? You can't say yes to that. You got that? That's good. So guys, that was the end of our event for today. So I guess you guys have got at least some information regarding the Android life cycle and all, and I believe you will do greater type of like much more Android applications in your future. And that's it for the day. Anything you guys want to speak now, you can message, like say something here in the chat, or else we will wind it up. You guys can speak if you want something, like we have just given you the presenter option, right? You can unmute yourself and speak, or else you can chat. Is there anything that you want to speak or say? Okay, I guess that was it for today. Thank you guys for being so patient, and I think you got some idea about how it works. So that's it for the day. So we shall see in the next, you can say the next time we will have something like that. We will surely try to explain you more and help you more. That's it, guys. Thank you. So see you guys. Bye bye. Good night.